to another edition of, and did I say edition or episode? One of the two, whatever. Of Entrepreneurs in Fuego. We're documenting the journey of amazing talent, of amazing people, amazing entrepreneurs, artists. Raquel Aurilia.
Hello.
Did I say that too Italian-y or too Spanish-y? Or
No, that's perfect.
that, right? You go by Raquel or by Rachel or by Raquel?
Raquel, yeah.
Raquel?
Yeah, or Raquel. However you want to pronounce it.
How you doing?
Good.
How you doing today?
Really good, thanks.
Good. Let me just hold this up because you are a performing artist, a very famous performing artist. By the way, I love your voice. I listened to your songs.
Thank you.
And I was like, I was just completely taken away. I was just really transported into a different world. And I don't say that gratuitously to say, but I was. It was beautiful. You have such a mellifluous voice. It's just amazing.
Thank you for saying that. Even if you're making it up, it's good. No, I'm just saying. No, but thank you very much. I really love it. It's my passion. So it's been something I've been doing for about 10 years. So I love it.
You've been singing for only 10 years?
Yeah, I started singing when I was little, but my mom used to play the piano, and we would sing and torture everybody that came over and make them listen to me. But it wasn't until I was older and I didn't really realize how to get into the music industry. It wasn't something you can just go and audition for. Like, you could do print work and things like that and go audition, but music's different. So you either have to have a band or have people that you want to collaborate with, and that's kind of how it all came about. When I was older, I met a producer from LA, and that's how it kind of all came about.
Is it the music industry is so difficult to penetrate, as is the movie industry, etc.
Yep.
Doesn't it piss you off sometimes when you see people with less talent, because you have an amazing talent, with less talent, that somehow they get their break?
Yeah.
And they're out singing, you're like, I can sing better than, I know I have much more talent than that.
It's frustrating because, like you said, it is frustrating to me sometimes, but music, it's all about it's in the delivery and whose hands you can get the music into. So there's some great singers out there that I go and listen to live all the time that I'm just like, wow, these people are amazing. And same thing if they're not getting that break or their song didn't get in the right hands. And it's a lot of it's timing of who heard your music or who just happens to be in the room when you're singing. It's just a lot of it's chance. I might be performing for somebody, and all of a sudden someone hears it and they like it. So it is a little bit frustrating because it's not that easy just to be like, here's my music, and it's not a simple process.
Talent goes so far, but then you have to have that break. You have to have that serendipity to happen for a producer or for somebody that has some kind of connection into the business to get you in the business. Because after all, it is the music business, isn't it?
It is. It's really, worked with Gardner Cole, who has platinum albums all over his office. You go in his studio, it's amazing. But I've worked with him. We co-wrote the second album called Holding On to Love. And then I worked with Billy Smiley. He's also another great producer out of Nashville. And my first producer that I worked with was Tony Papa, who worked with James Brown and Weird Al Yankovic and everything. So I've had really great people in my corner. And I have been fortunate in a way to been able to have done the opening acts and things that I've been able to perform with good singers, including B.B. King and Eddie Money and Pat Benatar, and John Waite, which I'm getting ready to go back out on the road again with him in May. I just found out, so that's cool. But
look at you, man.
So I've been trying to just do as much as I can, and then meanwhile in Nashville I go back and forth almost every month to write. So I'm kind of wearing both hats. Like the one in Nashville, I'll go back and write. So I write for other singers to pick up. So
I have about 5 questions floating in my mind right now, but let me ask you about your journey and your inspiration to become a musician. Okay. When did you find out that you had this talent to sing, and how would you describe your music?
I would say my music is definitely adult contemporary, but it's got kind of a little bit of a country crossover feel. It does. So some of my songs and lyrics are written a lot like country. I think that's why I'm drawn to Nashville, and that's why I go back and forth to Nashville so much, because that's just how I write. And so right now, that's why we're delving into more of the music writing. So the songs I wrote 2 weeks ago in Nashville, we wrote 4 different songs that week, and they'll all be shopped to other artists with a country artist singing them. So which is different, because not all of my music that I write is meant for me. You know what I mean? So it's
Taylor,
cool.
You could have been a singer, but you're behind the camera. You see what happens?
It's not too late.
Anyway, so when did you kind of realize, hey, I got something here? Or did other people say, Raquel, you have a beautiful voice. I think you should do this for a living, etc. Et but at some point, you must have realized that yourself.
Yeah, I didn't answer your question.
No,
I kind of went on a little tangent.
No. That's good.
When I was younger, like I said, I used to take chorus and voice lessons, and that's how I knew it was my passion. I always knew in my heart that's what I wanted to do. But so around, I want to say, like, gosh, when I was 6, 7, 8, I knew that's what I wanted to do, and people were very nice. They would say, "Sing this song for me," or when my aunt would be like, "Oh, we're singing these songs." So I was, they say you have a really nice voice, but I wasn't sure because, it's all discretionary. Like, music is objective, so some people might like your voice, and some people might not be your thing. Their thing, I should say.
Who's your favorite singer? Female.
Oh, female. Wow. It's funny because I love Bette Midler. I like her. Just her voice is just passionate. I love Adele.
Wing Beneath My Wings is one of my favorite songs.
So she's growing up. I think that's who I really was drawn to for some reason. And then now, as I'm, getting older and going through my own career, Adele's voice is just ridiculous and amazing and strong, and she writes a lot of sad stuff, which is I can totally relate to that because it's easy to write sad stuff.
What happened at the Grammys? Was it the piano, the microphone, and everything else? She was just completely off key.
I think she said it was. She said what happened is something dropped into the piano, or like her monitor, or the sound, and it is hard when you're singing like that and your sound goes out. Or I've had it happen where I'm playing live and the guitar doesn't go right in the right spot, and you're just kind of like, okay, this is awkward, but you just try to recover, and you try to sit there, and especially like on a platform like that. I don't know how she did it.
You write a lot of your songs, most of your songs.
Yeah.
Where do you get that inspiration?
Sometimes it's from.
Take me through that process. How
It's funny.
Happen?
Like, it's like a roller coaster ride. I say it's my therapy, literally, because there's songs. When I first started writing with Gardner Cole, he said, "Go, let's write together." I said, "I don't think I can," and he's like, "Just go try." So that's really all it took, is go try. And I'm like, "Is it that easy?" So I went home and I wrote 2 songs called. One was called "Walk Away" and one was called. You'll Never Know. And I literally just drew from like things in my past that have happened, experiences.
It's a great song.
Thank you. So that's something that was one of my first songs, and I just drew from an experience, almost verbatim, of what I went through with somebody. So some of my songs are about what I've been through, and other ones are vicariously through other people or in a situation that I just wrote about because it just was in the moment. So not always is there something specific that happened to me, but a lot of my music does come from personal experience. So
it's, for you, is very therapeutic, perhaps even cathartic, to write something, to get your emotions out on a piece of paper, and then when you sing it, you kind of relive that emotion again and again and again.
It's funny how that happens, because sometimes I'll write and then I'll go back and we record it, and when you record it, it's like you're bringing it to life, so it's such a cool feeling. It's like, wow, this is weird, and then you go, God, how did I write that, or when did I write that, or it's finding that space that you're in, and sometimes it's hard to write. Sometimes I'll have like writer's block for a few days where I just can't seem to write, and then all of a sudden everything will start pouring out. So it's interesting.
You are in, aside from the artistry aspect of being in the music arena, there is a business side to it.
Yes.
A very big business side. So, you can sing your heart out forever, but if nobody buys or produces or buys your CD, that's it. You're done. Have you had your share of haters and people that said, you know what, just do something else. Do something else. Don't pursue it.
Yeah.
And how do you deal with those people?
I think with that, it's a situation like music is it's a passion. So they always say starving artist, right? So it's like it's true. Like so many people are out there busting their tails trying to get their careers off to the ground, and they do it because they love it. And so I think with me. Luckily, you will find people that might be critical of your music, or like, oh, it's not my favorite song, or but to me, it's like I write because it's what I want to talk about or I want to write about, and it's very vulnerable anytime you throw yourself out there. So just like anything, if you post it or put it on iTunes or anything, that people could love it or could hate it. So you do it because you want to and because you love it. And anyone says that you can't, it almost drives me. It does drive me more to not necessarily prove them wrong, because I don't really feel like I have to prove anything. It drives me to be like, it's okay. You don't have to like it, and that's okay. It doesn't. I don't do it for other people. I do it. I can't say that because I do want to reach audiences, and I want people to relate to the music. So yes and no, I do it for other people, but I don't do it for their approval. You know what I mean? I do it to
Right.
touch their lives if I can.
You don't do it to validate
No.
your song or your talent. You do it because
Yeah.
you want to share your experiences with
Yeah.
other people.
Yeah, and I think it's cool, like at the end of one of my gigs, like when I was opening for John Waite, we did about 25 plus shows. And at the end of the show, if fans that were his are now coming to see me, it's really nice to
That's
see
cool.
that. Or like, gosh, I really related to your song, There's Still Time, and or the song you wrote for your dad, or like those kind of things are why I write. And then that feels really good if someone can say, yeah, I get that. That's happened to me.
What's your favorite old school band?
I'm all over the map. Goodness.
From any genre.
Well, it's funny, and it's not old school, but I go back to like I love like it's not even old school, but I like Tupac, I like Eminem. Then you go back to Elton John, and you go to Billy Joel, and even further. It's just I feel like it's all over the map for me.
It is interesting because you named all of the ones you named are singer-songwriters.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Yeah, and now recently, like Griffin House is in my head, and I saw him on Saturday, and that singer-songwriter, like really cool vibe is just it's not in, but it's just like so relatable. I sat there and watched him and just like in awe. But it's the second time I've seen him, and then I saw a band called Dig the Kid, and they're 3 young kids writing, and the girl was just phenomenal. I was just drawn to her on the drums. Cool, like little hair shaved back, and they're just really cool kids to talk to, and it's good music.
So in about maybe 6 months or a year, you're gonna come back. I'm gonna bring down my guitar.
Yeah, sure. I would love to.
And we'll just go to it.
That'd be great.
How's that?
I would love that. Thank you.
We'll do that. And I am sure you'll sound much, much better than I am.
It'll be fun.
Of course it's going to be fun. That's what we're all about. Thank you for
Definitely.
coming.
Thank you for having
Much
me.
success to you.
I appreciate it.
With
Thank
that,
you.
we're out.